I'm Thea. I'm Thea somewhat, and as Sarah said, I was a judge on the mobile marketing jury. These are some of the themes that we picked up in as a jury this year. I'm going to talk through some examples that show each of these themes. So in Craft versus Simplicity, this was a piece of kind of self-confessed promotional work. It was AKQA's Christmas card to the industry, which they used as an opportunity to show off what you could do in mobile browser-based experiences, and it is amazing. We were kind of two minds as to whether you can really award something that's kind of self-confessed self-promotion, but from the perspective that it really is just about the craft. It's not about the concept, it's not about kind of, you know, winning a pitch. It's just about the craft. We gave it a graphite pencil because the craft is amazing. I'll show you a video of it in a second. And on the complete other flip side of that, there's this campaign that came out of Singapore called Movie Emoji, where there's like literally no craft. It just uses emojis. There's, you know, there's no art direction. There's not even any UX. It goes out via text message. But the concept is so clever and so simple and so charming and so effective that we actually gave it a yellow pencil, even though no Adobe files were used. So I'm going to play the films now.
The latest set of iOS updates to WebGL that blew open what could be done in the mobile browser experience. We started with a holiday tradition, the snow globe, taking it and turning it on its head to create a digital experience that stretches the capabilities of 3D in mobile browsers to new limits, bringing it alive with a rich visual environment that reacted in real time, like the reflections and refractions of the glass, and giving it personality with intricate character design. We limited each scene to just 50,000 polygons to increase performance. While this could have been a challenge to the aesthetic, we embraced it by developing an art direction that uses only a low polygon mesh, building a world you could travel through with gyroscope navigation and explore in full 360 degrees, even making it snow in the palm of your hand through 10,000 individual particles. Through 14 interactive snowscapes, see Paris, London, New York, Shanghai, Washington, D.C.
And this is actually my favourite piece of work that was entered this year. Messages, so clever. Product versus campaign. So Beats Music was one of the really impressive entries from a product perspective. There were a lot of product entries in the category this year, but Beats Music really stood out because, as well as kind of the kind of front-end design thinking, UX, art direction, branding, which was fantastic, there was also clearly a really deep thinking design process around the technology and the curation and how, you know, the sort of IA and how all the content was organised, and the sort of core of what the actual product was, even just sort of beyond what it was digital. So thinking about how people consume music, how music could be curated rather than come from an algorithm. And so it was that whole kind of holistic thinking about a product that was beyond just, oh, we're going to do some wireframes, like taking it really back to what's this product about and why are people going to engage with it. On the flip side of that, Trip Out to Sea is a great campaign. It's very, very intense. So there's a video of it. The first time I watched the video, I was like, oh my God. Hold on when we watch it, and I'll explain how it works afterwards. So this is Beats Music entry.
Beats Music is different. Beats Music is the person behind the playlist. By combining the best experts with the best algorithms, our service selects songs in a human sequence. It's called curation. Only an expert hears Bowie in a band's influences, and only an algorithm learns from your behavior to capture your individual taste over time. Beats Music creates playlists with soul. helping to inspire your music discovery. So when the sun starts to set, you'll get a stream of songs that won't let you down. Each track building into the next, taking you to that moment. Beats Music is one of a kind. We know that curation is working for our users. 50% of music played is coming from expert playlists. 70% of our listeners are streaming songs for the first time via curated features. And our fans, like at Tiff Amanda, are loving it.
Okay, then we've got Trip Out to Sea. So this is promoting a clothing brand that also does life jackets. So it's kind of boating wear. And this is kind of the video part of an app where you basically you watch a video, the character falls in the water, and you have to kind of keep swiping to swim. And I think the maximum amount of time it can take you to drown is like 5 minutes. You sit there kind of trying to keep yourself afloat. And I haven't actually tried this, but someone on the jury said that as soon as this was released, everyone in their office was doing it on tablet, and they were all like, "Oh my God, it's so intense!" And they just kept doing it because it was a very shared experience, and people were talking about times they nearly drowned. It was incredibly powerful, and not just on desktop, but especially on tablet, for people to be swiping and having that motion that's similar to, sort of, not that similar, but having a similar sense to swimming and drowning. So incredibly intense for the minute, the 2 minutes, hopefully 5 minutes, that it takes you to drown. But then once you're done, you're kind of done. So compared to Beats, which is, you'll use that and you'll add to it and you'll keep curating and adding to it over a number of years. Potentially, this is a minute, but it's a very intense minute. And then channel and user centricity. So these are some examples where there's an enormous amount of specialized thinking about a specific user context or a user audience, or even sort of a channel or device approach that's so specialist that it deserves to be awarded because they've really thought really long and hard about the context in which mobile or specific audiences can make a connection. So Flash Photo Posters is a mobile plus outdoor campaign, and Look at Me is an app that was designed around autistic children, and it's clear from the results that they got that they've put an enormous amount of effort into researching and understanding autism and how autistic children interact with the world, and also what they could build into an app that would help those children, and there were some really impressive results from it. So this is the Flash Photo Posters. really well on mobile, but it also only works on mobile. That's the only way you can bring this campaign alive. And it's kind of, I really like the fact that they haven't tried to make it more complicated or turn it into an app or something. It's just take a photo of this poster, and within that photo you get the message. And then this is the app that's literally a kind of healing tool for autistic children. It's very clever.
Look at Me is a program to enhance the social skills of children with autism. It helps them to make eye contact, read facial expressions, and communicate better with people. The program was jointly developed with the expertise of professors in Seoul National University Hospital and Yonsei University. Using the digital camera function, 7 easy-to-use missions were created, focusing on 3 objectives. First, children can learn to recognize facial features more easily by identifying the correct positions of the eyes, nose, and mouth on the face. Second, children can learn to express a wide variety of emotions better. The mission called You Can Act Too helps them to make the right facial expressions under different situations. Third, children can develop a closer bond with their parents through all the missions. Children can choose from colorful themes, compete with virtual players, and are rewarded with points, rubies, and character cards. In parent mode, parents can view their child's attendance, scores, and photos taken during the program.
The last area I'm going to look at is innovation. So obviously a lot of really innovative work gets put into D&AD. But I've picked out these 2 examples because they both involve wearables or connected devices, and that kind of new area of how we start to think about mobile not just as a screen and an interaction on a mobile phone, but also connecting to devices and sort of having auxiliary experiences. So this is Ripcurl GPS by VML Australia.
Ripcurl Search, redefining the way surfers interact with the ocean, motivating them to find, capture, and relive their perfect waves. Building a connected ecosystem united by sharing the ultimate surfing experiences. In the water, the Search Watch uses GPS and accelerometers to track your every move. See your speed and distance. Go faster, go longer. Back on the beach, sync your session. Then relive your entire surf. See your best waves and how far you paddled. Check the conditions and log extra details like photos or the board you rode. Follow the pros. Check out your mates and compare your stats. Set up a club and compete for your local break. Build a reputation. Now, share it. Every surf that gets logged expands the search platform's knowledge of global surf breaks. For the first time, surfers have a tool that provides up-to-date information on where the best waves are and exactly how to ride them.
So similar to Beats Music, they haven't just thought about like what's the interface of the app, they've also designed a product, and they've designed that physical product thinking about what data do we want to capture, how are we going to push that data out, what are we going to do with that data once we get it onto the phone, how are we going to present it. And that, you know, the detail of planning and execution on that I think is really impressive. And this is the last one I'm going to show. This one was actually quite controversial because it's so simple again, but I really like it.
Biking's popularity is surging, but it's still hard for riders to find safe, direct routes. Using a smartphone to navigate while you're riding is dangerous. Hammerhead solves this problem by giving bike riders a new kind of navigation system, inspired by the ones that pilots use to land airplanes. While you're riding, lights help guide you in the simplest way possible. Left turns, right turns, gradual turns. When you make a mistake, Hammerhead can easily tell you to turn around. It connects to your smartphone using Bluetooth. Tell the app where you want to go, then put the phone away and ride. I
think that's a really nice example. There were quite a few connected products that were put in, and these 2 were the only ones that went forward for a pencil. They're really simple, really well thought out, and also really innovative.